Kansas City team coming in here, one that's very well coached and they have phenomenal players. So we got our work cut out for us. So we start over every week. We'll start over again today. Start working on early downs and get going here and try to do the best we can. I know the injury situation here for a couple of our guys. Just to let you know, on the one situation, Mike Daniels, won't practice today. We're still kind of working through everything, but everybody else is going to try to do what they can do. We're still kind of going through the process right now. But other than that, again, obviously a great team coming in. We got to have a great week of practice, great week of preparation, and we're excited to be home, excited to be here in our stadium with our fans, and hope it's really loud and really difficult on them because we're going to need all of it from that standpoint to try to stop their offense. But they have a very aggressive defense, a really good defense right now. They got some great players over there. They're very disruptive, and their special teams units are really good. They have phenomenal returners. They have a lot of speed on this team, so anytime the ball is really in any one of those guys' hands, it's very threatening from that aspect of it for it to be a big play. So, we'll go to work today and get after it. So, what do we got?
Patrick Mahomes, a lot of people they talk about the big plays, the arm strength, the kind of no-look stuff, but is the accuracy kind of a part of his game that maybe goes untalked about as much? He's 71% completion percentage. It looks like he can put it into tight holes, and how much does that make it difficult for defenders?
Yeah, no, he's very accurate as a passer, and I think the thing that's amazing about him, he's accurate whether he's in the pocket or when he gets out of the pocket too. I think the thing for him is I've watched and he's kind of matured and gone through the system, and just the system feels more and looks more comfortable as far as when he's out there. He makes a lot of changes, a lot of adjustments, works really well with the offensive line to get the protection systems organized. You'll see the mic points, the repoints, and kind of making sure that everything is picked up from a blitz standpoint. So I think he's starting to see a little bit more things like that are affecting the front, and he's handling them a lot better. I think another thing is just his ability to keep his eyes downfield. I think right now he's doing a great job of, whether he's in the pocket or once he starts to get pressure or he extends the plays and get out of the pocket, he finds those guys. He's not necessarily looking at the rush. He's trying to look for his players downfield because there's enough speed there where those guys are going to get open. They're going to run away from defenders, and a lot of those plays are just huge plays in the game. And his arm strength and his accuracy, I think, helps him in those situations of being able to complete those big plays downfield.
Rather him be in the pocket or outside
Yeah,
the pocket?
probably neither. I think right now what you're seeing on tape is you're seeing him extremely efficient on the sidelines, probably where I'd like to see him the most. But he's just really good. I mean, he's a really good young player. This guy's, every single play, it's extremely dangerous. He can get that thing downfield. He does a great job too with just controlling. There's a element to this offense that's definitely a ball control passing game, going back to the kind of the West Coast system, which Andy has, obviously his background, but he's incorporated a lot of the vertical stretch too, and then mixed into the spread offense that you see a lot in college. He's kind of adapted all that for his guys, but he does a great job with the controlled passing game. Just kind of taking those yardages that you'll give him, and then being real patient. And then all of a sudden he's gonna launch one downfield. So mix that with the run game, very dynamic there with those guys, with Williams and McCoy, and it's such a dangerous offense to try to defend against. They make you cover everything both horizontally and vertically. That's the biggest thing they do.
You announced that Daniels won't practice today. Does that mean Slade will practice? And how is he feeling with this hamstring?
Yeah, we're all of our guys are really day by day. They're kind of just trying to get better as we go here from that standpoint. But Mike, I do know will not be out there today. So just want to make sure that I announce that one. And everybody else is, they're still pushing through meetings, and we're still trying to see how everybody feels. We're going to go out and practice in pads today, so that kind of changes some things too for some of the guys from that aspect of it. As far as, but we try to get as much done as we can with everybody. So Mike obviously can't be in the situation.
This year, through 3 games, I'm just curious your thoughts on Ragnow center, Donald left guard. How those guys have held up?
Yeah, I think I think those guys are doing a really good job of trying to be in those positions. I think they've been in them long enough now where everybody feels comfortable. Kind of the different movement that we've had there. Kenny Wiggins is still a big part of that too. He's rolling through there and giving us a great amount of snaps inside, which is good. He's a very versatile player. He can play in a lot of different spots from that standpoint too. But for the O-line, again, this month of September is one of those months where it's really, you're seeing that live action, a lot of communication, a lot of different looks, different defenses every single week, the preparation, all of that, and that group just kind of working together to, try to go perform well on Sundays is where, you can see the growth right now. It's hard to do that during training camp, you're trying to evaluate guys, you're trying to look at them positionally. But, for the most part, you're going to see the same looks every day. Now where they're trying to really identify different looks every single week, game plan, make sure their communication is right, make sure they have the right checks and adjustments, work with the quarterback, and, play situational football all the way through for 60 minutes. I think that's where you're starting to see some of the growth, and we just got to keep that going forward.
This is not the format for a 50-year history on the West Coast offense, but how is Andy Reid, I guess, what are some of the hallmark evolutions he's brought to that scheme, going back to maybe Philly all the way to here to KC?
Sure. Obviously very balanced offense. It's something that they're gonna run the ball and they're gonna pass the ball. The run system is it's very quick. They'll get to the edge. They're gonna run the zone scheme, the stretch scheme. They'll mix in some downhill scheme runs, just enough to kind of keep you off balance. Everything that they do has packages, so there's going to be a play that's going to look one particular way or go one play, and then they're going to have an answer that goes another way. So those are kind of things that you have to defend in a very balanced format from that standpoint. He does a great job of once the call is in, the offense operates very quickly in and out of the huddle. They get to the line of scrimmage. You're going to see a lot of different personnel groups. You're going to see a lot of shifts and motions. There's a lot of speed on the field in general, and then when those guys start running horizontally before the ball is snapped, you're trying to get lined up, and then they go vertically once the ball is snapped. So I think he's just constantly mixing those concepts in that still have, roots that go all the way back to the West Coast, foundation. But like I said, Andy's very, he's very always on the edge of kind of what's new and what works. And he really does a great job of trying to fit the scheme to the players that he has. And I think he's done that, really well. I think there's the vertical element, which is, I would say, a little bit non-traditional. It's not just the normal alignments and everybody goes vertical. They're coming from different angles, different approaches, and they have enough speed to get there. That's the biggest thing for him. So I think he just kind of does a great job of keeping the core principles the same, but then always adding in the new wrinkles to fit the players that he has. And he's a great play caller, puts a lot of stress on the defense right from the start. He's one of the more difficult coordinators, I would say, or obviously head coaches, play callers, every single year. He does a phenomenal job.
That's so good. Any thoughts about so-called statement games at this point in the season? Somebody was asking one of your players that earlier this week. Do you believe in that, or how do you believe it?
It's every week's. There's nothing more to that than just biggest game is this game because it's our next game. We'll always just kind of try to keep it that perspective so that we just want to go out and perform well. I mean, that's the bottom line. Everybody's good in the NFL. Each team prevents different challenges. Each team has different strengths and weaknesses, and the challenge is to try to rise to the occasion of handling all those every single week and whatever presents itself. So that's really it. September, still early. We're just trying to get better. Hang on one
With the
second.
bye week coming up, how does that impact how you handle injuries coming into this weekend's game? Is it at all, or is it that you have a week to give them an extra week, or you can push them this week because you got that week off next week? Is there
nothing currently on our team, I would say, that any of that really rolls into from that aspect of it. I think there's nothing more important to us right now than the game this week. That's really all we're thinking about from that aspect of it, is just trying to go out and play well on Sunday and try to improve from what we've done the previous weeks and just try to get better. And we'll worry about the rest of it later. Right now, it's just, it's a great week just to get back to work. And again, it's going to be extremely exciting, extremely fun atmosphere. And, like I said before, if you love football, there's no place you'd rather be than in our stadium at 1.
Tight end, like it irks this past week, does that help you? Since you have Kelsey coming up next week, or are they completely different animals?
Yeah, I would say, there's a lot of really good tight ends in this league, and we got a lot of them on our schedule. So you just have to take them, though, individually because they are their own individual players. Kelsey, just, in regards to him, very big, very physical. He likes to play the physical part of the game. I think he's also a very experienced guy. He's seen a lot of different looks, so he handles those things really well. He's a guy that will run block. He'll motion, get to the edge. He can secure the edge, allow these guys to get around the corner, Williams and McCoy, and they're so explosive they can get there. He's obviously a huge target for him in critical situations. He's got great hands. I think the thing about him that's deceptive is, for as big as he plays fast. This guy can get vertical fast, and his run after catch is really phenomenal. He's got a great stiff arm. He's strong. He's big. Runs through a lot of tackles. So just a really big, strong, tough tight end that does a great job in the passing game, and he's really, he's just heavily trusted by the quarterback. There's some plays that, quarterback's in trouble, gets out, scrambles, extends it, and he throws them up, and this guy comes down with it. So I think continually you see that on tape. The trust level between these two is at a high level.
Ball control for the Chiefs. How important is that for you, especially this week where it doesn't look like a shootout would be in your advantage, where you're going to have to grind it?
I think for us, we're going to have to definitely play a complete game. All three phases working together, I think, is really important for us from that aspect of it. They do the same thing, so it's kind of similar mindset from that standpoint. But we're just going to do whatever it takes on all three phases just to try to win the game. We got to go out and execute at a high level, and we're not going to be in a situation where they score so fast. They've been able, the second quarter alone, they've been able to just kind of put points up on the board at an unbelievable pace. So I don't think you can really just sit back and, wait. I think you got to do what you got to do to try to go win.
Holmes, Matthew's got a lot of similar characteristics, being able to throw big arm throws off platform, different arm angles. How much does just your defense seeing that on a day in, day out basis help, I guess, prepare for some of the things they might see on Sunday?
There's certainly aspects that you try to carry over from that, when you see things in players on your team that are similar to players you're going to see on other teams. But certainly I would say that everybody is different from that aspect of it. And, a lot of it in game and game speed is something totally different from that aspect of it. So Holmes he's a pretty special quarterback. He does a lot of things really, really well. And, it's going to be a big challenge for us from that aspect of it. And, for the guys that haven't seen him live, it's just a whole different deal, when you get on the field with him.